wrestling team picked up its 8th straight MAC championship. Meanwhile, the Bats have come alive for the baseball Tigers, who scored 16 runs in Saturday's win over Northwestern. Today, Mizzou going for a 3-game sweep of the Wildcats. Mizzou trying to improve to 9-5 on the season. Some young fans enjoyed this game, and so did the Tiger hitters. Bottom first, 2 on, 2 outs, a hanging off-speed pitch, and Tony Ortiz gets all of it. Deep and gone to right center for a 3-run homer. It's the 3rd home run in 2 days for Ortiz. More Tiger power in the 5th. Game tied at 4, and it's tied no more as Austin James with a line shot that gets over the wall in a hurry for a 2-run homer. 6-4 Tigers. Mizzou adds 3 more in the 6th. Northwestern had a bad error, and this wild pitch allows the run to score. A big outing in relief for Ian Bedell, who threw 3 scoreless innings, striking out 3. As here he gets the last out. Mizzou wins 9-4, picking up the 3-game sweep. The Tigers move to 9-5 and will host Arkansas State on Tuesday and Wednesday. Moving to Mizzou softball, the Tigers trying to avoid a 3-game sweep against 5th-ranked Alabama. The Crimson Tide came in 24-0 on the season. Mizzou gets off to a good start. Top first, Gianna Torres goes the other way. 1 run scores, and a play at the plate. Jasmine Rollin is safe. The Tigers take a 2-0 lead, but from there it was all Alabama. Bottom half of the first, 3 runs already in, and Maddie Morgan adds to it with a 2-run homer, a 5-run first for the Crimson Tide. And how about more Alabama? They add 4 more in the 2nd thanks to a Reagan Dykes grand slam. The Tigers lose 11-5, falling to 11-10 and 0-3 in the SEC. Moving indoors to basketball, Sophie Cunningham made even more history Saturday, becoming the all-time scoring leader for Mizzou in program history and cementing herself as the GOAT of Mizzou women's basketball and one of the all-time great Tigers in any sport. This jumper right here early in the game was the historic basket. In all, Sophie poured in 33 points. She now stands at 2,157 points for her career. Cunningham was named to the All-SEC tournament team and is one of 15 finalists for the Wooden Award that goes to the nation's top player. The problem was Cunningham didn't get much help from her teammates as Mizzou lost 71-56 in the SEC semifinals against eventual SEC champ and 5th-ranked Mississippi State. Mizzou will find out its NCAA tournament seed on Monday, March 18th. The Tigers are projected to be a 5 seed by ESPN. The men's team won't be dancing this year, but the Tigers did play some good basketball down the stretch. In fact, Mizzou had a 2-game winning streak heading into senior day against Ole Miss. Last home game for Jordan Geist and Kevin Puryear, who scored 6 points, while Geist had 12. But it was the freshman Xavier Pinson who stole the show with a career-high 20 points. The Tigers led 34-26 at the half. But once again, a poor second-half showing as Ole Miss wins 73-68. Mizzou finishes 14-16 in the regular season and 5-13 in the SEC. But an awesome moment at halftime as Tigers legend John Brown had his number retired. Brown was a 1973 All-American and later played in the NBA, but one of his favorite moments at Mizzou was, of course, beating Kansas.
We were at Kansas, and if you're a Missouri person, you remember the Big 8. Everybody loves to beat Kansas. And we were over there in Allen Fieldhouse. We were down 13 at half. And I came in there and I said, guys, we got this. I said, they aren't that good. We're going to beat them. And we went out and beat KU by 13 that day in Allen Fieldhouse. That was the sweetest thing.
Mizzou will be a 12 seed in the SEC tournament. The Tigers will take on 13-seeder Georgia on Wednesday night in Nashville. That's a 6 p.m. tip-off. Moving to high school hoops, the Rockbridge Boons continued to cruise in the state playoffs, beating Kickapoo 77-57 to advance to the Class 5 state semifinals. Isaiah Mosley led the way with 29 points, while DeJuan Harris added 20. With a talented senior class, the Bruins have big plans. After a heartbreaking loss in last year's state semis, the goal is simple: win a state championship.
We want that bad, real bad, because we should have, well, we could have won last year, but we just slept up, bad turnovers, but I think we came together. We're gonna come together this year and get it done this year.
Rockbridge will play Lee Summit North in the semis this upcoming Friday night at 5:15 in Springfield. More high school basketball. The Jefferson City girls jumped out to a 22-5 lead after one quarter against Hazelwood Central in the state quarterfinals. The Lady Jays went on to win 61-49, advancing to the Class 5 state semifinals. Jefferson City will play Parkway Central in Springfield. That's a noon tip on Friday. And former Jefferson City High School grad OG Anunoby and the Raptors taking on the Heat in Miami. A solid game for OG as here he is in transition in between two defenders for the great finish. All Toronto in this one. The Raptors dished out 32 assists. Here's more OG. Marc Gasol finds him on a nice cut. And how about the OG slam? The Raptors continue to move the ball well as Jeremy Lin with a no-look pass to Anunoby for another jam. OG had 11 points. Take another look at this. A great pass as OG skies in for the slam. The Raptors win big 125-104 and still have the second best record in the NBA. Finishing with NASCAR in the Ticket Guardian 500, Kyle Busch picked up his 199th career win in dominating fashion. He's now one victory away from tying Richard Petty's record of 200 NASCAR wins, and it is March Madness. And guess what, Megan? I don't know if you know this. I know you're not big on hoops, but Western Illinois, your alma mater, had a huge upset yesterday in the Summit Tournament.
Very cool.
They were an 8 seed and beat the 1 seed.
That's awesome, but so is the fact that on Wednesday we might get close to 70 degrees.